Welcome back to Let's Get Haunted! Season 3 finale.
Season 3 finale. Also,
Season 3
finale. It's Christmas. Kringle. What are we doing?
Merry
Christmas.
holidays.
Cheer. Oh, I know what we're doing now. Okay.
Santa's
gone
to
the
moon.
And we are here for Christmas cheer.
Yay!
If you are listening to this and haven't turned it off yet, we are in the studio. We have filmed this for your pleasure.
Yes.
And Allie and I are totally Christmased out.
I'm sweating profusely. If you can tell, sorry about it.
We're wearing onesies. There's ornaments everywhere. There's tinsel. There's Christmas lights. Allie's got a Christmas tree with jingle bells on her head. If you hear that, that's what that is.
That's what that is. I'm bringing you cheer. Don't be annoyed.
I've got a green wig on, and we've got ornaments hanging from everything. So if the sound quality is horrible, that's why.
You know what? If the sound quality's horrible, still like this video anyway, because we're bringing some Christmas cheer.
Yeah.
And if you don't celebrate Christmas, doesn't matter. As
Right.
we've talked about before on this show, most Christmas traditions are from pagan religion. So I think that everyone should decorate everything with tinsel.
Yeah.
And put on your coziest jammies and turn on this YouTube video and bunk down with us.
Right. It's your time to shine.
My ass is on fire, and I just realized it's because I'm sitting on Christmas tree lights.
I don't know if you want me to tell you this, but I'm going to. You have lipstick on this too.
See, this is why I suck my teeth, as we talked about before on this show.
It's at the bottom. I think you got it. It was on this one.
I just see that I'm sweating a lot, to be honest with you.
It's working, right?
Yeah,
the body is working.
'Tis the season.
It is not like Christmas weather in Los Angeles. Like, I think it's like 75 outside.
And we're trying really hard to make it seem like it's snowing. But it's actually very hot. But I'm so excited to be here. We made it through another season.
Right. We made it through another season. And Allie printed off your guys' questions here. There's a bunch of them, like a game show. We're just going to read through them and answer a bunch of them. And it's going to be a lovely, jolly, magical Christmas
Holly jolly town of a time. And we got some stuff at the P.O. Box, Natalia. You do the honors. We only got one fan mail for this episode.
Fan mail.
And then we have something very exciting that you guys are going to want to stay tuned for. Did someone send us a ticket?
This has a paper clip.
This looks like I got a parking ticket.
A golden ticket. Oh, they're stickers. It's possum stickers and Mothman.
Oh, cute.
Possum and Mothman stickers.
Oh,
if you
that's
want to model those.
Yes, I do.
I will read this. It says, "Hey, Nat and Allie, I'm hoping this reaches you guys before spooky season is over. Enclosed are 2 stickers for you. I saw them on a shop called Paint Dust, and I knew that I needed to get them for you guys. I love LGH so much, and you guys have gotten me through many boring Wednesdays at work. Please never stop what you guys are doing. I've even gotten my boyfriend, who typically hates spooky things, into the podcast. He even mentioned how awesome it is on his recent Twitch stream.
What?
Love you guys so much. Enjoy the stickers and stay haunted. Love, Jenny."
Thank you, Jenny. Thank you so much. We love receiving fan mail. It really makes our life. So if you guys want to send us something, you can address it to Let's Get Haunted, P.O. Box 1658, Camarillo, California, 93011.
Wow, I can't believe that. That's incredible. That's great. Thank you.
Look, if you've got a supportive boyfriend
that's
who's
what I was
like down for your haunted hobbies, you are in the minority and you need to hang on to that man, woman, or person that you are with.
Right.
Because Nat and I both have unsupportive.
We do. We have very unsupportive people in our lives.
Yep.
Nay, I say sabotaging people in our lives. Yeah.
Oh, man. I was going to say, I hope they don't watch this. And then I thought, of course they won't watch this. They don't even acknowledge that this is part of our lives.
No, they don't. And
you know what? Some people aren't into haunted things.
I get it. It's like, why would you want to call haunted things into your life? I understand it.
But also,
but
It's
I can't
fun.
relate to it.
Yeah, I get the logic.
Yes.
Yeah, like if this is a very real thing to you, then like
Right.
why would you ever want to talk about one of the most cursed games banned by the
Right.
Catholic Church?
Yeah.
Right, you wouldn't want to do that. But here's
Right.
the thing. Nat and I are self-sabotagers by nature. So we welcome the demons into our
Right.
lives with open arms.
Right. I'm just a curious kitten. you
Yeah,
know?
that's how I describe myself too. I'm just here to like start a fire and see what happens. Do I have the fire extinguisher handy? No.
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 Figure that out next step.
Exactly.
Right. I'm like a one step at a time kind of gal.
Yeah, I can relate to that
Yeah.
in a sense. Well, Nat, we normally like to start with personal hauntings. Do you have any personal hauntings this week?
I want to start with your personal haunting. Let me start with my personal haunting that turned into yours. These are
Okay.
I want to read you guys some text messages that I got from Allie recently. 5:58 p.m. It says, all caps, work has been an absolute disaster this week. OMFG period. I just got lost trying to find a new ranch I'm doing work on and drove through a fucking wedding. I drove through as the bride was coming down the aisle. What the fuck? Why did they not have people set up around the venue to prevent this from happening? And then I just said, LOL, no. Did they notice? And you never responded. So you
Because
have to tell me.
It was so traumatic. Okay, let me tell you what happened. So, as you all know, I work in agriculture. I work on several different farms. There was a farmer who needed some work done. He was like, hey, show up to this field and like, I need you to do like this job.
Right.
Okay. So I have to go to that field to find the people that are working in the field to get the task done. And it was one of those farms that's like a hobby farm. So it's not like they're
Okay.
growing for like a
Right.
supermarket.
It's like just like a cute, like a place where maybe it would be a wedding venue.
Yes,
Yes.
correct.
Okay.
So it's like they have one section that's a pumpkin patch that had a bunch of little kids running around like
That's
crazy.
cute.
You drive past that, it's like a little vineyard. Past that, there's like a pick your own raspberry
Right.
place, like a pick your own strawberry place. I was trying to find the strawberry place.
Okay.
Okay, rolling hills, right?
Oh, right.
I'm driving. I'm like, okay, it's clearly not the pumpkin patch. Let's go past the pumpkin
Right.
patch. Okay.
And you like can't see over what's next over
No,
a hill.
you can't. There's trees. There's like
Right.
a lemon orchard. Okay, it's very beautiful, sprawling hills. And as I'm rounding a corner around this lemon orchard, I see like chairs and people
Right.
milling, and I'm like, oh, this is probably like some other like part of the pumpkin patch or something.
Right, where people are just sitting,
Right.
like waiting for something to happen.
Right. And
Yeah.
if you've ever been on a farm before, there aren't like, it's not like a road, right?
Right.
Like you're just driving where you can drive, where
Right.
there isn't crops, right?
Okay.
Like trying to get to the next section
Right, so you're driving on like a lawn.
on a like on a lawn or on like a dirt path,
Right. or,
whatever,
like,
but
an
it's not
empty
really
field.
a path. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly. Okay, so I'm like, okay, I wonder what this is. And I keep driving and I look, and as I look to my left, the bride is right there walking down the aisle.
How far from you? Like how many feet would you say?
It was too close. It was
Could
too
you
close.
see like the whites of her eyes?
I don't know. I was so terrified that I immediately got tunnel vision. And I was just like, how do I get out of here? So I'm just like driving by and she's walking down the aisle. And everyone, I'm like right in front of the altar. She had like a beautiful like flower trellis.
Oh, you're in between the bride and the altar?
No, thank God it wasn't that. I was behind. So like you're looking out the archway and there's my truck just driving right in front of the archway. Maybe like 10 feet in front of the archway.
Did no one see though? Because they're all looking back at the bride?
No, everybody saw. For sure.
Was
For
it like
sure
a really
everyone saw.
dusty ranch where like you're driving and like a big dust trail is coming
Well,
up?
luckily I'm not an asshole, so I normally go like 4 miles an hour
Right.
because dust can also harm plants.
But then it took even longer.
But then it took even longer to get past.
Was this a big wedding? How many people do you think were there?
I would say maybe like 50.
Okay, so it was small.
It
and
was
intimate.
a small wedding, and it's just my dumb ass. And my truck does not look good right now.
Right.
I may or may not have rear-ended someone. So like my front license plate is like dented in. It's bad. I took my truck in to get serviced. I don't know what they did, but my truck is just really squeaky now.
Loud.
It's loud. It's like
obnoxious.
"Ee!" as I'm like driving in front of this poor woman's wedding.
What was her dress like? Was it like a really big like ball gown?
It was like a fairy tale garden wedding.
Shit. Yeah,
like this was not the vibe that she was going for. And so anyway, I finally make it past. So just picture me, tires squealing, dented, dirty ass truck. I've only washed once since the pandemic started. I'm not proud of that. And I'm just going so fucking slow trying to get around this wedding. Then I finally find where I'm supposed to be. I do what I have to do there. And then I'm like, okay, I clearly can't drive back through this wedding.
Right.
I've already done a terrible thing today.
Yeah.
So I'm like, surely there must be another way out of this area that I'm in.
Right.
There has to be another connection to the main road. So I'm like, okay, you know what I'm going to do? Instead of turning right, which is where the wedding venue is, I'm going to turn left.
Yeah.
Mistake number 2, because turning left put me directly on a train track for a children's train. Have you ever?
Oh, like a little quarter-sized train
yes,
that goes around
like have you ever
garden?
been to the mall and it's like a tiny little train? There's like a train conductor and it's real hokey and it's like everything's painted primary colors.
Right.
And I drove directly in front of that train.
Oh my!
On the train track.
Were there a bunch of kids on it?
Yes. And the train conductor was an adult man.
And he was like,
well, like he's in character, so he's not gonna be like, what the fuck is this bitch doing on my train track? So I'm just like, and I like wave and I'm like, okay, what do I do now? I'm literally on a train track in like a hedge maze.
Yeah.
And there's these giant trellises, so I have to drive through these trellises where people are taking like Instagram photos, like some girl posing with like a flowy dress and her boyfriend is like trying to take all these shots, and I'm just like, I don't know what to do.
Oh
like, please get out of my way. And so then I turn back. I get out of this train track nightmare. I'm back where I started. I'm like, okay, let me try to do a lap around this other direction. There's no way to get to the main road.
Wow.
It's these deep ditches. The only option was to go back through the wedding.
It's a labyrinth.
I went
cringe.
So
a cringe labyrinth.
I drove through this woman's wedding twice.
But like, I thought after you do the ceremony, you would go somewhere and do a reception, right? Like, hadn't enough time passed?
I think they were doing like personalized vows. Like something that takes a really long time because it was a small, intimate wedding. Yeah. And so I drove through it again. And the second time, I just didn't make eye contact with anyone and I left.
You know what? I'm just going to assume that those people fucking sucked and they had really bad karma. So, like.
Also, what was I supposed to do?
You got sent there to fuck up their wedding because they sucked. I don't know.
What kind of venue doesn't have like people stationed around? I've talked many times about the haunted golf course I worked at over the years. They had weddings there. And there would be a point where if someone was like walking down the aisle, which was right next to the golf course, they would station someone there to stop you and be like, hey, stop.
There's a private event here. Please go around. Thank you.
Exactly. And they would like stop the golfers and give them like a free drink to say sorry while they're like waiting for the bride to walk down the aisle.
What if conspiracy, the person who like owned the venue didn't like that couple and they sent you on a dummy task there knowing that you would drive through this wedding? Oh my God. That's what I'm saying.
Wow. Okay, that makes me feel less bad. So let's choose to believe that. And that was my personal haunting. Not only did I ruin someone's wedding twice, but I also drove in front of a children's choo-choo train.
You know, those children and that couple, they needed to learn a lesson that day.
I
don't know what the lesson was, but they needed to.
Also, I just know I'm in the background of someone's Instagram photo, like ruining it. My truck barreling down this like beautiful floral archway where some chick in like a flowy maxi dress is posing. And then it's just me in the background like, sorry.
That is embarrassing. That
pretty
gives
bad.
Me cringe.
Yeah.
The only thing that gives me cringe more than that is this one time I was like trying to send hot photos to this guy I was dating and I was like sending live photos but like didn't know it. So I was like taking like a hot photo and then it was like live so you can like see me like look at it. So he was like, you know, you're sending me live photos, right? And then at that point I just had to double down and I was like, yeah, I just want you to see like what it really
what
is.
My process is.
Yeah. And then he was like, okay, but they're live photos. So after you take the photo, I can see like everything else, like where you are and whatever.
It's like your toilet with like the lid up and piss in it in the background and you just don't know.
Dude.
Okay, thank you for sharing something else embarrassing.
Right. That haunts me to this day.
Yeah.
Forever.
I don't think I'm ever going to forget about this moment that has just happened to me. You know what? That's what this podcast is all
Right.
about. Doing some embarrassing, fucked up shit and blaming it on a demon that
Yeah.
temporarily took control of your body and possessed you to drive through a
You
wedding.
can't control that.
We do have a sponsor for this
Oh, shit.
episode.
Oh, yeah, we're doing it big time.
Are you ready to grab and go?
Wait, I thought we should do our sponsors on an episode that's going to get like a lot of airtime.
Should we wait?
I was just thinking because they said they would continue to advertise with us if we got like enough views or something. And I didn't know if it's a season finale episode. Are people going to actually watch this compared to the episode? What do you guys think?
What do you guys think? This is us talking through our lack of a business strategy live on camera. I say, let's just do it. We have time to edit it. And if we don't like it, you know what? It never happened. Let's do it. Let's try it out.
Okay, so this is from Manscaped. If you guys don't know what Manscaped is, I don't either. I'm learning right now with you.
I know what it is.
It says your balls will thank you in there. So do I shave other people's balls with this?
Look, are you a human being with pubes? Do you wish you didn't have them?
Right.
All this and more could be yours if you go to Manscaped, I believe .com, not
Right.
sure, google.com, type in Manscaped, buy something from there, and use code Let's Get Haunted at
Yeah, just
checkout.
do it.
All one word, Let's Get Haunted.
Yeah, and if you don't want to get rid of your pubes,
Get rid of someone else's
get-
pubes.
send it to them.
Look, do you have a father?
That's going to be really weird, but...
Give it. No, you don't have to use it on pubes. You can use it on your
Oh
face.
my gosh, it's like...
I know this is like marketed towards men, but I told them our audience was majority female and they were fine with
I
it.
could do my eyebrows with
I kn-
this.
I have a lot of thoughts.
Could do some split ends.
Shave like a cool design in the side of your head.
Shave your pets.
Whoa, such
You
a
can
good
also
idea.
use a ball toner. What is that, a ball toner?
They have underwear. Hey, it's the holiday season.
They also have ball deodorant. That
That's
just
a
give it
must.
to everyone.
Give it to everyone.
Yeah.
Everyone is musty down there.
Don't even ask. You just give it to them.
You can't just give someone like ball deodorizer,
Yeah, you
right?
can.
That's like pretty bad. So
You can
buy
get-
the whole thing. And then you're just like, oh, it came with that? That's cool. That's not why I got it for you. Your balls smell great.
Okay, so it's a ball toner. You spray it on, you let it air dry, and it tones your balls.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
It is.
Hygiene is important.
They gave
I
us
can't
a thing we're
open
supposed to
this.
read.
I tried. They gave us something we were supposed to read?
Yeah, it was on the email.
No, they said you could wing it, I thought.
And they also like gave us examples. They were like, you can wing it, but here's some examples.
These are very soft, and I am going to wear these this evening.
I am just so thrilled we got all this shit for free.
You guys hear this? This is ASMR. Hey, do you have an ASMR channel? Buy some stuff from Manscaped using our discount code. Oh, that was a great noise. Natalia is cutting tinsel with a ball trimmer for people. This is somebody's fetish. This is somebody's fetish, right? You guys buy shit for us.
Yeah.
You hear this?
Uh-huh.
Smooth.
Wow.
Wow.
I mean,
Wait.
this is great.
Hold on.
Okay, let me open the email where they like said what we're supposed to say.
Okay,
Ball company.
Manscaped. You guys hear this? That could be your balls if you play your cards right. That smells good.
Wait, let me see.
That smells actually like the best balls I could imagine.
Oh, hell yeah.
Hell yeah. You want your balls to not smell like balls? Buy these products.
This is gonna change some lives.
I actually may be using these products later today.
I know exactly what I'm getting my man for Christmas.
Some new balls. Anti-chafing. I have heard that the balls do be chafing. Code Let's Get Haunted on manscaped.com. No bigger way to tell the man, woman, or person in your life that you love them
Then being hygienic.
than being hygienic.
I think that also, balls. You could get this box. Just be like, oh yeah, I just bought this to support Let's Get Haunted because they're gonna lose their jobs after this episode.
Great, guys. Is this ad read going well? I'm gonna just say check the show notes. You can go to manscaped.com, buy any product on their website, and enter the code Let's Get Haunted, all capitals and all one word at checkout. And they sent us shirts.
For 20% off and free shipping, you can enter Let's Get Haunted in the checkout at Manscaped.
All right. Are you ready to get into today's questions, Natalia?
You guys, please,
Please buy this. Please buy our stuff.
Yeah, okay, I'm gonna cry. Let's go.
So these questions are taken from our Instagram and our Twitter account, where we asked you guys throughout the past 3 months, AMA. We said, hey, what do you want to ask us? And then you asked us a question.
I can't stop thinking about the ad read. It's fine. There's also ball deodorant. Do we know that?
Yeah. All right, guys. All right. Natalia, Who is your dream celebrity guest that's not Nicolas Cage or Liam Neeson?
Orlando Bloom. I don't know what he's been doing lately. If he's problematic, I'm sorry, but he was Legolas, and that was a very formative years of my life. And I had a whole entire wall with his photo on it called the Wall of Orlando Bloom. And I used all the printer ink in our house to print out pictures that I found of him online. And then I also had a standout cutout board of Legolas that was life size that I took from the movie theater. And
That's pretty fucking cool.
It's been with me since Lord of the Rings came out, and I still have it to this day. So
Love
Legolas.
that. I would like to have Britney Spears on the show because I feel like she has lived a very haunted life, and now she's finally able to start speaking about it.
Right.
And I would really like to know if there was any truth to those MK Ultra rumors.
She wouldn't tell us if it was true, right?
I think she would. She's been starting to like come out
She
and like
has?
say, well, just like open up about the struggles she's had. And
Right.
like, I don't know. I'd be interested in having her on the show. Brittany, come on the show.
Is there going to be a Skinwalker episode?
Yes.
Oh, easy.
Yes, there is, because Natalia and I have been waiting because we know someone who's been to Skinwalker Ranch. And I can't say much
Right.
more than that at this time because they told me I'm not allowed to. But when that person is allowed to talk about it, we're going to try to get them on the show.
Hell yes, we are.
That's right.
Brother.
What's been your favorite memory associated with the podcast this year?
Probably that ad read we just... Probably our first ad read and how well it went.
Yeah, it was pretty good. Getting to do a video episode, our first video episode, that's a cool memory.
Was super cool. Probably like fan mail.
Fan mail is always really cool to get. Oh, we won a bunch of awards.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Why? See, this is how fucked up this year has been. Is I'm thinking like, no, that was last year, but it's not. It's this year. This year. Yeah, we won a Shorty Award for the audience honor for best podcast.
Motherfucking award-winning podcast.
That's right.
Yeah.
And we also won a Paranormal Podcast Award for best ghost stories.
Hell to the fuck. Yeah.
Brother.
Fuck.
Brother fuck. Yeah, so I think that's probably my favorite memory associated with the pod this year.
Yeah.
What do you think? What's your favorite memory?
I'd probably definitely the awards. I think at the time I didn't give a shit. But then after we won and like
the
it was
feeling
it
of
was
winning.
expressed to me that like this actually was a big deal, and like other people were like, "Oh, I know what a Shorty Award was." I was like, "Oh yeah, fuck yeah."
That's right. So hopefully next year, you guys, if you stick with us and you keep watching, maybe we'll win some more awards, and maybe eventually we'll win so many awards that networks can't keep ignoring us. Love you both. Just wondering, after Enzo is older, what kind of work does Natalia want to do?
Ooh, I want to be an actress, and it's like the most cringe and embarrassing thing about me, so I like never talk
I
about
don't think
it.
that's cringe.
I do.
But I mean, if you never try, then you can never become an actor, right? Isn't that the whole thing? You have to like go through the cringe phase of like wanting something really bad in order to get it, right?
they tell you that, but I don't know, because there's some people who just like
fall into it.
They have family that have done it and whatever, they started, their parents supported them when they were like couldn't even speak. They were like already acting, and then they grew up, they got on the Disney Channel.
But
They
you don't want that.
I think I do, yeah. I really like, I think if I was a child star, I wouldn't be any worse off than I am now.
Yeah. But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like you kind of lose some of your childhood if you're missing school to go shoot something,
Right.
or like you're going to have to be homeschooled a lot of the time.
Right.
And nothing against homeschooled. I'm sure we have some homeschooled listeners.
Yeah.
It's not like it was your choice. Your parents decided. But I do feel like you miss a little bit of the socialization. And while school is not always fun, I do think it helps to like form you into a well-rounded person.
By the time you guys see this episode, I'm working on producing a short film that I wrote about 5 exotic dancers who encounter an alien. It's like great horror / comedy drama. I'm really excited to produce it. I'm like kind of scared. I don't know what's gonna happen because this is
I
the
think it's
first
going to
thing
be amazing.
that I've like am gonna direct and act in.
I was
and all
about to
that.
ask you, are you acting in it as well?
Yeah, I wrote a part for myself. It's like the fucking best part ever. And I wrote it for myself. And I actually wrote this like a couple years ago, but I just didn't know or have the experience to be able to produce it myself. I was just like, oh, I'm just going to write this because it's an idea I have in my head. And I think it's really good. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say about that. I just got new headshots done, and I've been like cold emailing random fucking people in the city and just being like, look, dude, Like, just help me.
I don't know, but I feel like that sounds like the right attitude, right? I think
Yeah.
you just have to kind of not take no for an answer until you get what you want, probably. And I'm sure that saying that is like so much easier said than done. But
Yeah.
I think that that's really dope that you wrote and you're going to
Thanks.
direct something and you're
Yeah.
taking steps to make this it's a short film.
It's a short. It's probably like 25, 30 minutes.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know
Yeah.
Hannah's helping you, right?
Yeah, sort. Well, I mean, like all of my friends are sort of helping me. So
Because that's how I heard about it was
Right.
Hannah. Yeah.
Yeah. So all of my friends have like been kind of helping me to like make it happen.
That's awesome.
So yeah.
Well, you guys, when that drops, we're going to be promoting it on this show.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So next question: who would win in a fight between Mothman and the Catfish King? Air versus water.
I'm going to say Catfish King. Maybe
Why?
we can take opposing viewpoints on this. Okay. Catfish King is an
This has
enigma.
magic.
He has magic on
Yeah.
his side. He is a giant, creepy fucking fish
Right.
that's size of a Volkswagen Beetle that stares into people's eyes and hypnotizes them.
Yeah. Yeah, Mothman doesn't have that.
No, and he swallows people and chickens, remember?
Right.
And he controls all of the catfish in Lake Lanier.
He seems a lot smarter than Mothman. Mothman just like kind of like seems like he shows up and disappears, but
Yeah.
he like doesn't really like know what he's doing.
Mothman, I feel like, is just like kind of hot, kind of gross, shows up and makes your TV have static, may or may not be warning you about impending doom,
Mhm.
but is not necessarily there to like fuck your shit up. Catfish King, his sole purpose
Is to fuck
is
your
to
shit
fuck
up.
your shit up. And
Yeah.
he's like conniving and has an army, whereas Mothman is like a soul entity, right?
Right.
Mothman is just like, hey, I'm here, I'm bare-assed,
Right.
I'm ready to like take you on a date or tell you a bridge is about to collapse.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then Catfish King is like, I'm gonna swallow everything you love whole
Right.
and impregnate you with a demon child,
Yeah.
then disappear and you'll never see me again and I'm not paying child support, which is very frightening. Did y'all ever think your podcast would get this big? Love y'all, by the way.
The short answer is yes. I thought it would honestly be bigger than it is now. And
Really?
yeah. Well, okay. At first, I was like, had no expectations. But then after a while, I was like, okay, yeah, this is really happening. Like, I started getting positive feedback from people who were in the industry. And I was like,
That's
cool. You know how it is. Like, you have one good thing happen to you, and then you just start like taking everything for granted and just like looking for the next thing. And it's a disease. I have it. That's all I'm going to tell you.
I would say I didn't think it would get this big. You know what I thought though? So I thought we would be signed by now to a
Right.
network, but I did not think we would be this big. And that's why it's confusing
Right.
being so much bigger than a lot of people I know with
Mhm.
podcasts that are with a network. I guess we're just too good to be mainstream, you guys.
Shh, we keep it 100%
That's right.
funded by us and donations.
And you. Yeah.
Thank you.
And possibly Manscaped if you guys
Oh,
buy
yeah.
some ball trimmers.
So, guys, don't ever forget about Manscaped. What is the most haunted representation of a ghost you've ever seen in a film? I love your pod.
Ooh.
Probably that shit. What
The
is
nun?
it? The nun. Yeah.
The nun that
Don't
like
even
comes
say it.
out. It's like a shadow creature.
Oh yeah.
Okay, this is The Conjuring 2. If you guys didn't listen to the episode where Nat talks about The Conjuring 2, I don't remember which one it was now. It is very freaky imagery
Right.
where there's like this shadow in the hallway and it walks into a room and it goes into a painting of this nun and
Yeah, and the painting runs at you. But also it like travels around in the middle of the day too, which
Yeah.
is like really scary because usually it's only nighttime that the demons come out.
I would say the most creative depiction of some type of ghost creature that I've seen in recent memory is It Follows. I love that movie. I think it's so fucking good the way that it's done. You haven't seen it yet, have you?
Mm-mm.
We got to watch it together and we got to like live stream it or something.
No.
It is such
We
a good
won't do
movie.
that.
Okay, I tweeted recently from the LGH Twitter account and I was like, here's like me, Allie's top 4 or 5, I don't remember. I think it was 5 like horror film recommendations for spooky season. Like, let's argue in the comments.
Oh wow.
And most people were like, oh yeah, I like those films too. And then someone was like, why do you like It Follows? It Follows is not good. So now I'm very interested to see what you think, get a second opinion, because I love that movie. I thought it was so creepy.
All right. Which episode haunted you the most this season?
Which one fucked us up? You know what? Here, let me get out my laptop and let's see. Okay, I'm going to name them.
Okay.
Haunted Alcatraz, Japanese Folklore, The Mummy's Curse, The Witches, Ghosts, and Werewolves of Mosham Castle, or Moosham Castle, Hans Christian Andersen's Dark Fairy Tales, haunted crossroads around the world, Vorgard Slot, Denmark's most haunted castle, Indrid Cold, the Grinning Man, The Curse of the Scottish Play, The Ningen, Paranormal Games to Play in the Dark, The Boy in the Box, The Boogeyman, Edward Brian McCleary's Escape from a Sea Monster. That might be mine. Hold on. The Anunnaki Conspiracy, Hawaiian Folklore, The Mystery of the Witch's Seed, Changelings and Demonic Children.
Oh.
Le Loyon, aka The Ghost of Maule.
Right. Wow. Oh my God, we've done so much.
We've done so much stuff. The Grim Reaper, The Beast of Bray Road and the Ghosts of Lake Geneva, Wisconsin. The Dancing Plague of 1518. Cannibals in national parks. Can't forget about that one. Ooh, The Mysterious Copper Cauldrons of Russia's Siberian Valley of Death.
Yeah.
Episode 69. How did I forget about that? The Black Knight Satellite Conspiracy. UB-65, the damned German submarine of World War I. That was a great one. Human Cannibalism and the Scottish Legend of Sonny Bean. That one fucked me up a little bit. I couldn't eat for a while after that. The Curse of the Romanov Dynasty's Missing Fabergé Eggs.
Oh, right.
The Belmez Faces and Other Andalusian Ghost Stories. Colabraro, Italy's Most Cursed Village. The Lead Masks Case, featuring dynamic banter.
Oh, yeah.
Madame La Laurie's Haunted Mansion of Horrors and New Orleans Voodoo. Body Farms Cremation and Spontaneous Human Combustion. That one did fuck me up.
I think that's the one. I think that's the one.
Yeah.
I forgot about it until just now, but I think that's it.
Time Travel and Paranormal Time Slips. Lake Lanier. The Paranormal Side of Sleep Paralysis. And that's it.
I think it was the spontaneous combustion because I can't get the photos out of my head of
that
just
shit
a
was
pile of
up.
soot with someone's foot wearing a fucking shoe
that one
coming out of it.
That one was pretty messed up.
And then there was like another story in it that was talking about like back in the 1700s, like someone went into a room and there was just goo all over the walls.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. And then there was I told the story from that book that I really like where like The Worst Way to Die, that guy that like
oh my God
got thrown in a manhole that had hot steam coming out of it and he like steamed to death like a lobster.
And then there was someone who accidentally cremated someone who was still alive, and when they heard
God.
them scream, it was too
just
late.
For a split second because it was so fast that they evaporated.
Yeah, because that shit is not like that is not just like, whoa, we saw a ghost or there's a demon. Like, that is this literally happened. This is fact.
Oh my God. That reminds me. Okay. There is a podcast called Radio Rental. I'm sure some people, we always get questions every year, like, what podcasts do you recommend? I'm currently listening to Radio Rental. They had a story this year about someone who worked at a crematorium and cremated a person that they're pretty sure was still alive. It is such a fucked up story. And I listened to it and I was like, I wish this had come out before I did my cremation episode because I would have reached out to that person and asked them to tell their story on our show too. But I don't know if you sign your like the rights to your life away when you go on Radio Rental. I'm not sure how it works because it's like a professional podcast with Rainn Wilson as the host. Yeah, this person worked at a crematorium and was like, they brought in a body to be cremated and it was too warm to be like, because they had handled bodies like for years and years, and they were like, this person's body temperature is too high to like for like the amount of time that they were supposed to be dead. But they had a death certificate from the hospital and they were going around like talking to their coworkers being like, you guys, I think that this person's still alive and their pulse is just too faint to like really hear. And so they all start listening and they think they can hear a heartbeat, but they're not sure. And it's like a situation where it's like a Friday night and there's nobody, like no supervisors on duty, nobody's sure what to do. And like they're getting a lot of pressure from the hospital to like cremate this person because the people want their remains. He has such a bad feeling. He really doesn't want to do it, but he's being pressured to do it. He cremates this person that he's pretty sure was alive. And then has their ashes, I'm like getting the chills, has their ashes sitting on his desk because the whole point was the family wants the ashes now. They're going out of town. Nobody ever came to pick up the ashes.
What if someone just like killed that guy?
Yeah,
like,
that's what, so the guy that was telling the story was like, I'm pretty sure that's what it was.
Oh, you guys, it's like causing, I just get so scared now that I just start crying.
Isn't that a fucked up story?
Yeah.
Okay, next question.
What?
Are you going to do a haunted COVID unit episode? Restless spirits not believing they're dead, possibly trapped in a COVID unit.
No, I fucking hate COVID and I don't want to talk about it anymore.
I feel like maybe if we're still doing this podcast in 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
Possibly. But I feel like right now it hits too close
fresh
to home.
It's too fresh. It's too traumatic. What is your favorite Halloween memory, haunted or not?
Oh my God. Do you have one? I can't think of one right
Definitely when I was younger and would just like be really slutty and like just go to like parties, being slutty and being a whore and having fun.
Yeah, okay, that reminds me. In high school, I was really obsessed with Juanes. Do you know who Juanes is? Yes.
Mi camisa
La
negra.
camisa negra. Yeah, I was obsessed with him. And one year for Halloween, I was Juanes's groupie. That was like my
I thought you were going to say you were Juanes, and I was like, no don't tell the story.
No, and I like printed out a photo of him and I like put it on a shirt, shrinky dinked it onto a shirt.
Wow.
And then I had like fishnets and like a zebra print skirt. I was just trying to be like a rock star groupie, but for Juanes specifically.
I love that.
And that was a good memory.
Yeah.
Who would win in a fight, Mothman or Bigfoot? These are a lot of questions. People want to know what we think about fights.
Bigfoot, for the same reason that
Bigfoot.
Catfish would win, because he's got like portals and stuff.
Also, I feel like Bigfoot may or may not be abducting people in national forests, as we learned in your cannibal story.
Right.
So I think that he is trying to fuck shit up and fight people and eat people.
Rapid fire. Best and worst Christmas present you've ever gotten?
Oh my God. Where my aunt
gave your brother a car.
Gave my brother a car and gave me a chia pet.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is the story of my life, you guys. Best, worst gifts.
I don't know. I feel like it's kind of fucked up to say I've gotten a bad gift, because
I liked the chia pet.
It's just funny.
It's
like,
just
in comparison.
Funny. Yeah. Oh my God. My aunt is the best person ever. I love the shit out of her. She's amazing.
Right.
It's just like hilarious.
Honestly, I think I've been the more spoiled out of me and my brother, definitely. And like, it's always been a point of contention between us. Like, he would always just be like, Daddy, I want a pony. Whenever he was like around me growing up.
He's just like a Tiny Tim British boy with rickets.
Right. And, but he would always say that. He was making fun of me, like comparing me to the girl from Charlie and the Chocolate Factory, like the really spoiled one.
Veruca Salt?
Yes.
Yeah.
And which isn't fair, but also like, yeah, I did want a lot of shit and my parents gave it to me because I was kind of a nightmare. Like, so they just did it. Yeah.
My brother was very much not a nightmare, and he definitely gets the better presents.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. Golden child.
So, any superstitions you were told as a kid? Example, don't point at the moon, you'll get cut behind your ear.
What?
I've never heard that one before. I do remember hearing the superstition of if your ears burn, it means someone's talking about you.
Right.
That one is like a very prevalent one I've heard.
My mom has a bunch from like, I think it comes from like Pakistani background. So if your fingers, when you hold your hand like this, if there are spaces between them, then money just goes through your hands. You spend a lot of money.
Oh my God. What if you only have one space and everything else is closed?
Then maybe you just spend a moderate amount of money. I don't know.
Yeah, that's a fact.
Also, if a snake bites you and you don't cut the head off, you like just, it gets away, it will come find you again to finish the job.
Oh my God.
Because my aunt once got bit by a snake, like a garden snake or something, and then it got away and she was like crying that night, like, it's gonna come get me. And my dad was like kind of making fun of her and he was like, yeah, it's gonna come like down the highway 30 miles. It's on the highway right now towards your house. And like she freaked out even more.
Well, as we learned from the Mummy's Curse, sometimes snakes find their way where they shouldn't find their way.
Oh, and that's true.
They bite people. Do you think Abraham Lincoln was a cryptid or just haunted looking as fuck? That's a great question.
That is a great question.
Last year, in I believe it was the bonus episode, we put a photo in the photo dump of Abraham Lincoln looking creepy as shit.
Yeah, I think he might have just been unfortunate looking.
Yeah. He was, you know what? He was fortunate to be born before television.
Right. Do you like the listener story episodes more than the regular episodes?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I do.
Yeah. It's less pressure. It's more fun. What do you guys? Do you guys like them better?
I like them because you guys have some really fucked up stories, and I just can't believe, like, sometimes when we're covering things on this show, it's easy to be like a few spaces removed from the story because you're reading an article about something. You're not actually talking to a person, except for the episodes where we interview people.
Right.
But so when I'm like having you guys write in about stuff that's like, I saw an old woman in the corner of my room and she told me I was going to die. And then I died. Yeah. And then I came back.
And I wrote this. How did you haunted ladies join SP7?
Well, I was dating Steven, the creator of SP7, and I am a very supportive partner, I will say.
Yes.
To my detriment, I support anybody that I'm dating.
Right.
Like, you want to become a painter?
Paint me.
Yeah, like... So when he was doing SP7, I was like, you need extras? You need someone to be a dumbass?
Right.
You can shoot me at any time. You can shoot in our house at any time. And then Natalia was living with us for a time.
Oh, yeah.
So then she got roped into it.
Oh, I have some funny stories from then. Yeah.
Yeah. That was a great time. I loved SP7. I'm so sad it's not in existence anymore. But 2 out of 3 of the boys, Kib and James, still do Beyond the Pine.
Yeah.
I was on Beyond the Pine this year, and last year Nat and I were both on Beyond the Pine.
Yeah, Steven's been on the podcast recently.
Steven's been on several times.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna come back on a future episode. He was texting me the other day about it. So
hell yeah. Yeah,
stay tuned.
I still text Steve. I asked him the other day if there's a famous Twitch streamer in my building because I saw some guy that I saw some guy driving like a Lamborghini or something, but he was like really young and kind of like had that sort of look.
Right.
And so I was like describing him to Steven. I was like, hey, is there a famous Twitch streamer that looks like this? And he was like, nope, can't think of one. And kind of like, why the fuck would you text me? But he, like, I thought he would know for sure. But then come to find out, he's actually a famous Roblox creator.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I have a friend that does Roblox. Leah, I would love for her to come on the show, but I also don't think that her audience would appreciate it because she has a very young audience. And we are just, like I said, talking about diarrhea and dicks.
I asked him like about his thing, and I was like, how many like subs do you guys have? And he was like, well, it goes by plays, and we have 7 billion. And I was like, that's how many people are in the world.
Yeah.
And he was like, yeah, I mean, it's like to explain some things, but I didn't really listen.
I don't understand.
I just heard
Twitch
7
either.
billion.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa. So maybe I should ask him if he should come on the podcast.
Ask him to come on.
Let's go.
How to get over a breakup / when someone you like doesn't feel the same. That's a tough one.
That is tough.
Time.
And not jump into a new relationship to get over it. Your friends and your family will support you. Like, everyone has been through that. It does get better. Change is always good. And I think just always remember that. Like, change, no matter what it is always good. And there's this term called like amor fati, which I saw in the Stoic book that I read in the morning. And it's basically saying just like love everything that happens to you, whether it's good, whether it's bad, whether you're rich, whether you're poor, whether, you know, you just got a promotion or your best friend just died or like whatever it is, love it because it's happening to you for a reason. That's what I would say. I
think that's a great philosophy to live by. Again, I really feel like that is our show. Like haunted, bad things happen all the time. Mm-hmm. There's a spectrum. I drove through a wedding. That's pretty bad. But you know what? Sometimes you've just got to be like, that happened.
Yeah.
And now it's a funny story I can tell.
Accept it.
You accept it. You regurgitate it on a podcast. We cringe together. And then I go to sleep again as soon as I go home. I would recommend, if you have access to therapy, I would recommend therapy. If you don't have access to therapy, I think
music,
journaling,
headphones, art.
Put that pain into something.
Yeah. Pick up a new
time.
hobby.
Yeah.
This is the year that you're going to run a mile. This is the year that you're going to finish a film. This is the year that you're going to have a haircut that's good.
And I will say, resist the urge to talk to that person again. Because
oh my God, yes. Every time you talk to that person, the time starts over.
It starts over.
So say you have to go through like 6 months of not talking to this person before you feel good again. That 6 months gonna really fucking suck. But you know what's gonna make it worse? If you keep extending it. It's like being in prison and you keep starting fights and getting sent to solitary and extending your time. Like, don't make the prison of the self last longer.
Absolutely. To the
Block
point
them.
Where
delete them.
Yes.
Don't expect closure. Don't do the shit where you're like, well, we're just gonna meet up and talk. You will end up fucking, and you will end up
fucking. You will end up fucking, and then afterwards you will be like, why did I do that?
Right, because you're gonna think like, oh, everything's gonna go back to normal. They're gonna work on themselves. They're not gonna work on themselves. Nope, they're not.
You can't fix people. People have to make that decision themselves.
Yes.
Would you rather be possessed by a demon or haunted by a ghost?
Possessed by a demon, because I think I would just lose my shit if there was a ghost haunting me, and if I was possessed by a demon, I wouldn't even know.
That's true.
I would just be in it.
That's true. I think I would rather be haunted by a ghost because I would get them on the podcast. See, I'm always thinking about the show.
Thinking ahead. Mm-hmm. If you can haunt somewhere after death, where will it be? 3 places max. I like how they put a limit on it.
Where would it be? Well, it depends. If I got murdered, I'm gonna haunt that murderer for the rest of their life. I'm just gonna but mild inconveniences. You know what I mean? Like they're trying to have sex and I haunt their dick and it doesn't get hard. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
What about you?
I think I would go investigate shit. I'd probably celebrities. Like, I would want to, like,
That's a
know
great
what they're
answer.
doing. What is Megan Fox eating for dinner?
Right. That's
Fucking
true.
haunted, bitch.
You know what? We need to have a ghost. Does this already exist? A ghost detective show where someone dies, they become a ghost, and now they can haunt anywhere in the world and
Right.
talk to other ghosts that have been murdered and then solve their murders.
I love that you're a productive where I'm just like, I'm going to go look at celebrities and see how they live.
Both of these things are valid. Will you ever get into fucked up true crime cases? If so, check out the case of Treva Thornberry. We try to avoid true crime most of the time just because it can get. I was actually just having
really
a conversation about this. I feel like it can become voyeuristic.
Yeah.
Very quickly. Like you're talking about someone's literal worst time of
Profiting
their life
off their pain.
and profiting off of their pain. Because we don't make money on this podcast,
Yeah.
I do feel like covering like unsolved cases is different. You have the possibility of opening that case up to a wider audience
Right.
and being able to like possibly help out in some small way.
It's like 50% slimy instead of 100.
It's also just sad because we don't make money.
Right.
So it's like, why
Yeah.
are we doing this anyway? But I do think that there are some cases that deserve a bigger spotlight, obviously.
Yeah.
You know, that like really don't get the media attention that people deserve. And so we do try to cover cases like that or unsolved cases. We recently did the Christmas tree Jane Doe.
Yes.
If there's some small chance that us covering it to our audience gets to the right person, I think it's worth it.
Yeah. Have you heard of Infrasound and its relationship to haunted houses? It's crazy and almost not paranormal.
No.
Infrasound.
Okay, I'm going to guess what that might
Is
be.
it the sound that makes you crazy?
I think so.
Yeah, we
Right?
talked about this as a theory
Look it
where
up.
there's like the sound waves that can make people crazy.
Infrasound, sometimes referred to as low frequency sound,
Yeah.
describes sound waves with a frequency below the lower limit of human audibility. Infrasound is characterized by an ability to get around obstacles with little dissipation. Okay, that didn't help. But I do think that that's probably what it is.
This noise is too low. I'm going to kill everyone.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, got it. What's the most haunted thing that's ever happened to you? We have so many personal hauntings. How much
Oh.
time you got?
Right.
Look,
Are you going to visit any haunted attractions next year?
I hope so.
I hope so too.
Lake Lanier, maybe? Have you ever recorded an episode but not released it, excluding technical errors? If so, why? Yes.
Yes.
We did a listener story episode where the intro was us complaining a lot about just like bad things that were going on in our lives at the time, work related, and we did not put it out because we felt like, one, it was too negative, and two, we didn't want to like burn bridges even though those people had like fucked our shit up.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We had like problems with
But
like,
now I'm like, fuck them. Fuck everyone.
that's true. Yeah, we were just having problems with like a different recording studio we were working with, a problem with like a network that had tried to acquire
Yeah.
us but not really, and stuff like that.
One day we probably will
Out
transcend and
everyone.
just out everyone.
Yeah, it'll be like, this person did this to us.
We're gonna like get to the end of our ropes very soon, guys.
Yeah.
Is there an episode you want to delete from your brain?
QAnon.
QAnon.
100%
Yeah.
of the time, QAnon.
Yep.
Do you have any fan art requests? All the time.
All yeah.
Everything you can think
I like
of.
surprising because I am not as creative as I would like to be.
You know what I like? I like the themed fan art. Like when you
Yeah.
listen to an episode and make fan art about the episode.
Right.
Like
like
the
a meme.
Ningen, the manta ray, but bigger.
Mhm.
That one is one of my favorite fan arts.
I love when you guys meme us. What's it like to be goddesses?
It's really hard.
Yeah,
Oh my
it's-
god. If you could bend any element, earth, water, fire, air, which one would it be and why?
Earth. Just bend that shit in half.
Make it flat. Make it hollow.
Well, think about this. You're like, I want to go to Japan for lunch. Bended. I'm there.
I want to be a waterbender because I want to find the Ningen. Be like Moses and part the seas and just like walk through the ocean like the Mariana Trench
Oh,
and be like, wow,
wow.
look at all these like carcasses of fish.
Nat, what's your dream role in a play or musical? Allie, you have to answer.
I think you would want to be what's your favorite movie? I actually don't think I've ever asked you this. I remember when La La Land came out and you really liked that.
That's not my favorite movie.
Okay,
Don't
well
put that
I just
on me.
remember you saying
I
like
did like it.
because Steve loved it too, and I just remember you guys talking about how much
I
you loved
did
La
like
La
it, but it
Land.
was my favorite. There is a musical called Cabaret that
Oh.
is about a sex club in Germany, and it's very like tongue in cheek. Liza Minnelli played it famously, and she did the like whole dance with the chair or whatever. I love that musical, and I would love to be any one of those roles in there.
That's my
honestly.
answer then. What's one paranormal experience you would love to have happen to you?
Just find a bunch of treasure. Find like a special Fabergé egg with good luck
Yeah.
in it.
I want to be abducted. I was thinking about this recently. But let me tell you why.
0 to 100.
Let me tell you why. I was recently listening to a story of someone who claimed to be abducted and they had cancer. And when they came back to Earth, they were cured. And it was like totally mysterious. They weren't undergoing chemo or radiation. So like the only explanation is that they were abducted and the aliens cured their cancer. I want that. Yeah. I don't have cancer. I just want to throw that out there. But I want to be cured of all of my various ailments. Yeah. So I would want to be abducted really bad.
Love that.
Love that for me. Is there any episode that you would want to redo?
Probably that ad read we just did.
This one?
Yeah. What's the most interesting fun fact that you've come across while researching a topic?
I like any fun fact about folklore of any place. Yeah. So Haunted Crossroads had some good folklore from different countries. The Hawaiian folklore episode was really interesting. Filipino folklore, Japanese folklore, the Vietnamese folklore, those were all really interesting to me.
Yeah, I like the Ray contest. I feel like we refer back to it all the time.
Will you guys do episodes with a live audience? I feel like you guys would be great at it.
If there's enough of you guys alive that will comment and let us know, and then we'll do it. Yeah,
we just need to figure out a way to know where to go, where people will show up, and we'll do it. Would you guys consider going to haunted places and doing a podcast on the experience afterwards? We kind of did that with Area 51.
Right. Well, I would do it again.
Yeah.
Hell yeah. Allie, did you ever get married?
I did not. No, we did not get married. If you missed that life update, that was in season 2 finale. I am no longer engaged. It's a positive thing. Nobody worry about it. We're still friends. How have you grown as podcasters this year?
Oh, so much. We've been forced to grow. We also regressed in a lot of ways as well.
Absolutely. Yeah. Like we'll have like 3 steps forward and then one episode will take 3 steps back. That's what we hope you love about us.
Yeah, I say like not every single hit on the album can be a #1 single. You gotta have the filler.
Yeah, not every track on your favorite rapper's record is gonna be that one that you play at the party when you get the aux. Okay. Similarly, if you're trying to show our podcast to your friend, I'm sure there's some episodes that you're like, not gonna start them on that one. Which story was the messiest to research? Dream survey. Super messy. I'm still talking to that guy.
Yeah, I know. It won't end.
I texted that guy today. I'm trying real hard to.
What did you say?
I'm trying to get him on the show and we just keep going back and forth and he changes what he wants and
let me talk to him.
I think we're at a place now where it's gonna happen. But I also don't want to jinx it, so maybe it won't happen.
Have you had any weird or strange things happen when preparing for a story that made you second guess telling the story?
Yes. QAnon. Do you remember when we had that weird shit with our phones happen after
QAnon?
Right,
yeah, no, for sure we got bugged. Yeah, after we talked about QAnon, weird stuff was happening with my phone. It was like really glitchy. Like sometimes I would be talking and it would feel like feedback and like my voice would get quieter as if just like part of it was going somewhere else, and it never had done that before, and it was happening for a good few weeks after the QAnon episode.
And to anyone listening who's like, oh, that's so far-fetched that anyone would be like tapping your phones, like who gives a shit? I'm not saying that we're important. I'm saying I think that it's not
buzzwords.
That it's like not a far stretch to think that the government would be concerned about someone researching QAnon, like trying to make sure that there's not like an attack on the Capitol or like, is this person radicalized? I don't think it's a far stretch. And I've heard of other podcasters that covered that topic having the same problem. I'm struggling and would like to know what keeps you guys motivated and positive.
We're not positive all the time, but I do think that being able to just tell Alyssa, like, fuck, this sucks sometimes is nice.
I really do think that once you start looking at your life through positive and negative hauntings, I do think it's helpful. Yeah. Because everything's a haunting. Some is better than others. When something really fucking bad happens to you and you're having trouble keeping it in perspective, like, grieve that, you know what I mean? Like, grieve whatever that bad thing is, but then look at it as like, guess a ghost came into my life.
Right.
Who's to say? Once you realize you can just say who's to say or like that was haunted, I feel like it alleviates a lot of the stress.
Having a good sense of humor will help you in every area of your life.
Yes, definitely agree. Lake City Quiet Pills was my absolute fave. Any fun side stories that got cut from that episode? I could have gone on for many more hours diving through that guy's fucked up Reddit history. Also, I did find someone who claimed to have had a conversation with that guy on the internet. And this was after I'd already put out the episode, so there was nothing I could do about it. Also, the guy didn't agree to come on the show. From his perspective, it sounded like what he was alluding to is that these people were involved in possibly some child porn situation.
Oh, no.
And that it's been reported to the FBI, allegedly. So take that from that what you will.
What is one cryptid you would want to see?
Beast of Bray Road. I would love to see that. What about you?
Maybe Bigfoot.
Yeah.
Yeah, just because like I feel like everyone knows what it is. I can
And-
like broker a deal for him to get a reality TV show and then I'm a
Right.
billionaire.
Exactly. And then we have a studio. How/Win did not figure out she has ADHD.
Like I've said many times before, not sure if it's real or not, but I do benefit from the medication.
I think it's real.
I think I started medicating for it when I was like 24. That's kind of like the year I got my shit together, I would say.
Yeah. No shame in taking medication. And it could be any medication.
Right.
Antidepressants, immunosuppressants, ADHD medication, anxiety medication. If you think you have a problem, go to the doctor. I know our healthcare system is fucked up. You don't have to tell me that. But
Yeah.
if you think you have a problem, there's no shame in trying out a medication.
I would say go to different doctors.
Yeah.
To get a second opinion.
Best and worst fruit.
Best fruit, probably an orange.
That's a good one.
Because it's clean and you have slices you can share. Worst one is a fucking kiwi. What the fuck do you do with that?
I was about to say I love kiwi.
No.
I was about to say kiwis are fantastic. You know what? I think best fruit, coconut. I feel like coconut's very versatile.
That's true.
You can use it for a lot of different
But
things.
you have to have like a knife to eat it.
Yeah, but you can like buy it frozen and make smoothies. You can like buy like the little shavings and
Adding
put
a
it
lot
on a
of steps.
cupcake.
Steps.
Yeah, right. I don't know what the worst fruit is.
Kiwi.
You know, honestly, probably like a bell pepper.
Is that a fruit?
Yeah.
Oh.
Like something that like you think is a vegetable and then you find out it's a fruit and you're like, that's
Right.
fucking bullshit.
Yeah.
Why are you a fruit?
What topic from this season would you like to see turned into a movie?
Lake Lanier.
Lake Lanier, that
Lake
would
Lanier.
be great. Yeah,
Yeah.
set it in the 80s.
Would you ever film from a haunted spot?
We would.
We would, and
Yeah.
we've tried. It hasn't worked out. Although that time we filmed in that guy's airplane hangar, I feel like that was pretty haunted.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was.
Would you ever do a drunk episode?
Yeah,
I think that'd be fun.
yeah.
Yeah. Biggest pet peeves. Pet peeve for me, chewing with your mouth open. Why are you doing that? I can't breathe through my nose very well either, but guess what? I fucking fight through it and I chew with my mouth closed.
Right.
Take smaller bites.
Yeah,
Don't-
I also hate people who drive slow. If you're driving slow and you're not in the right lane, crash
yeah,
your car.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Free rent for a year. Where would you move? I'd move to another country.
Yeah, I was thinking like Dubai, like
Yeah.
somewhere where it's like really expensive and I can't afford it.
Yeah. Honestly, I would go probably Denmark. I know you have family there, but that was my first time going there when we had that
So
layover.
nice.
Natalia and I were flying somewhere else. Got a layover. Our flight was canceled. We had 24 hours in Denmark, and I just was so impressed.
It's
I just
super
really
nice.
liked it. Yeah.
Everyone's beautiful there.
Beautiful. The
Best
streets are so
culture.
clean. It's
Yeah.
like everyone was happy to see you. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
They had Danishes on every street corner. I was like, oh my God. I'm struggling and would love to know what keeps you guys motivated and positive.
That's the same one.
Is it the same one? It's from a different person.
Oh wow. Well, knowing that there's other people who have the same questions
That
as-
makes me feel so
as
much
you
better
about life. Oh, you know what makes me motivated? Those fucking YouTube videos.
There you
go on
go.
YouTube, look
Nat's
up
really into that
motivational
right now.
videos. You will get so fucking motivated. There's this one guy and he's like, I live every minute like it's the last fucking minute of the Super Bowl. And I was like,
All right.
I should do that.
If that's what it takes. What's it like being the coolest, most badass haunties in the game? Chill.
Pretty chill.
Too bad no one appreciates us that has any power and can help us. What are your zodiac signs?
Gemini.
Leo.
What was a haunting you learned the most from, like a lesson from a tragedy or a spook?
All of the true crime cases have just taught me that it's important for someone to have your iCloud password if you go missing. You need to tell people what your iCloud password is. You need to tell people how to unlock your phone.
Right.
So that people can figure out what happened to you when you go missing. And also don't let them take you to a secondary location. If you're about to be kidnapped, just fucking die right there or try to run away. It's just not worth it to go with someone. You'll always die. What do you feel like is the best part of having the podcast?
just doing it. I think that
Yeah.
to just be able to have this time with Alyssa where we're like not living a real life and
I
we're
agree.
doing this is very fun.
Yeah.
What's the most important takeaway you've learned from all these haunted ass stories?
Respect people's dying wishes. You want to know how you get a ghost? Specifically do what their will says not to do.
Right.
100% of the time you will end up with a ghost.
Yeah, just be nice to people.
Be nice.
They might give you something in their will too.
That's right. Will you do listener stories more often next season, like maybe every 5 or 6 episodes instead of every 10?
Probably not.
Probably not, but if enough of you want it, just keep telling us.
Yes. We're just doing what we think is going to work, and clearly it's like not working that well. So just tell us what you want and we
That's
will
right.
do it.
Yeah.
Fuck, marry, kill, King Tut Mummy, Ingrid Cold, and Grim Reaper.
Fuck the
I'm
Grim
not
Reaper.
gonna fuck the mummy for sure. That's like
no,
necrophilia.
kill the mummy. Fuck the Grim Reaper.
Yeah, marry Ingrid Cold.
I mean, he can take me in his spaceship to his planet.
Yeah, he seemed like he wanted a relationship.
Yeah. What are you looking forward to for next season?
Maybe we're gonna get an office.
We're gonna try.
We're gonna try.
Hopefully, we win some more awards. I think that's my goal
Yeah.
for next year.
What's one topic you want to talk about since the show started, but you haven't yet?
The Somerton Man. It's coming. Season 4. I'm going to cover it. What, in your opinion, was the most haunted listener story to date? The puppet people. Do you remember that fucking story?
Yeah.
Sorry, I said it before you could even answer, but that one fucked me up.
There was one recently where she was talking about this guy who would like sexually abuse his daughters and then feed their babies to pigs. And I feel like that was an episode of Game of Thrones and it's not real, but I don't know. I don't know.
It can't be real. That was in our listener stories number 10.
Kayla's saying yes, it was Game of Thrones. So I don't know.
All right. Well, someone wrote in an email and we were laughing at it because we were like, there's no way this is real. This is so absurd and terrifying.
Yes.
Yeah. Who would win, Mothman versus Beast of Bray Road? Beast of Bray Road. We've talked about Mothman's kind of a bitch. What's your favorite episode you've recorded this far?
I don't know. Lost Dutchman's Gold Mine. If you could pick any horror movie to live in, which would it be?
None of them, because I don't want to die. I'm very much focused on not dying. How are you both such awesome ladies?
Takes work. I don't know. You only see a very small, very edited portion of our lives, and
That's
Alyssa
true.
could tell you there's a lot of shit she cuts out that I say for sure.
And we both say.
Yeah,
you
we
know?
both say.
Yeah. I just had deja vu seeing this, so that's haunted as fuck. What's y'all's most haunted deja vu, if any? I get deja vu from time to time, and it's very unsettling. Now I just assume that it's like me in a parallel universe has already done this.
Right,
Like
yeah.
I keep splitting off into more and more realities.
I keep getting deja vu when I'm driving, and that sucks to think
That's
that I'm
scary.
just in traffic all the time and whatever.
No matter
universe.
what. What's a story you want to cover but feel intimidated by? It's called Headless Valley. I'm going to cover it, I think. But the reason why it's taking me so long is because I do feel sort of intimidated by
Well,
it.
I actually remembered we did an episode on Bigfoot, but we didn't release it because our guest
That's
didn't believe in Bigfoot
Oh.
and kept like being a skeptic about it. And I was like, this is just too hard.
Yeah, our guest brought down the mood.
What's your go-to comfort show or movie?
I'm going to get fucking roasted for this. Big Bang Theory. Because it's so simple. You can just shut your brain off. And it's just like, there's no substance. You know what I mean? So it's like, if I'm stressed out, it's like, sit there, watch Big Bang Theory. And it's also like good memories with my dad of like coming home. My dad would be watching it.
That's
and,
good.
like, yeah. What
I
about
like
you?
that. Like American Dad. I love the alien Roger.
Are there any stories you don't believe? Ooh, that's a good one.
Probably, but I'll never tell.
I normally just believe everything because it's more fun. But there are some episodes where you may be told something by someone and you're like, I believe that you believe that, but I don't know if it really happened. If you were accused of being a witch in 1666, what would you do or say to prove your innocence?
No, I wouldn't. I would be like, I'm a fucking witch, and now I haunted your ass. Your wife is fucking this person, and they're all witches.
Right, because
I'm gonna burn you all in hell.
as we learned from the Moosham Castle episode, you're just gonna die regardless. So
have
cause
fun.
chaos.
Yes.
Yeah. How can we get this podcast to explode in popularity?
No one knows. If you know, please let us know. If you could have any non-traditional animal as a pet, what would you choose?
And I Google it. AYE.
What's something you're proud of yourself for overcoming and accomplishing in the last month?
I would say continuing to film and research episodes while I'm unwell, because I've been extremely unwell this entire year, and we're not going to get into it because it's too negative of a haunting.
I'm proud of getting new headshots. For a long time, I was like, fuck this industry. It's not going anywhere. Everyone I've ever signed with has been bullshit. Everyone is fake. Fuck you guys. I don't need this. And now this time I was like, well, you know what? Now I'm only going to fuck with like real ass bitches. Like I'm going to sit down in a meeting and I'm going to be like, are you fucking real ass bitch? Do you make all of your money doing the thing that you say you're doing? Or are you a faker like me? Yeah. We cannot be a team.
Because we can't both fake it until we make it together.
Exactly.
One of us needs to know what's going on.
Right.
If you had to be haunted by one thing you've done an episode on, what would you choose? Indrid Cold. I want to know whether or not he exists.
Right.
Yeah.
She's saying that's our time. That's our time.
That's our time, you guys. We have so many questions we didn't get to.
Many.
I'm so sorry if we didn't get to it. I will save these for next time we do a Q&A. If you guys would like another Q&A, please leave a comment on this video asking us, and maybe we'll finish. Please support our sponsor.
Right.
And thank you guys so much, as always, for supporting us and supporting the show.
Yeah.
Go to our website, LetsGetHaunted.com, for any updates. We are taking the month of January off, so we will see you in February.
Yeah, and have a great new year.
Yes.
Manifest some good stuff for yourself and for us. We made it through a fucking horrible time.
Awful, god-awful year. Congratulate yourself. You know what? Count your lucky stars and blessings. If you didn't have anything else positive happen to you this year, just know you made it one more year, and that's something worth celebrating.
Yeah. All right.
Bye.